Good afternoon, and was a cool, grey and overcast day. It is Saturday the 28th of January, and I'm in the reading nook with a pile of parcels and a nice hot cup of tea. And let's get on with the unboxing. And what I've got here is this, which is a biography. Hold on a minute. Which I picked up in the Waterstones sale, and it's Beryl in search of Britain's greatest athlete, and it's about a not so well known British cyclist, British female cyclist. Now, a bit of confession, I am fascinated by the sport of cycling, in particular by the Tour de France. I'm fascinated by it, watch it every year, and enjoy essentially the tactics, the athleticism, essentially the endurance, and almost the romanticism of the whole event. And I've been watching it, I suppose, probably best part of I would say 35 years or so, on and off. So let me see. Basically, this was the Times Sport Book of the Year. Beryl Burton, OBE, was a cycling phenomenon. So begins the inscription on her mural in Morley town centre, reflecting a unique dominance and the passion that consumed her. She broke the world's men's record for the 12-hour endurance race, an achievement unequalled in the sport to this day. Her superiority was matched by her longevity. She finished the UK's best all-rounder for 25 consecutive years. She was hampered by institutional sexism of the cycling authorities, but carried on winning, while also working full-time on a Yorkshire rhubarb farm and running a household. Along with little more than their bikes, a small tenting and a camping stove, the Burton family went out and conquered the world. So, this is about an athlete who was not really appreciated in her time, and it has been people like the actress Maxine Peake who has kind of brought her to a greater attention. She actually did a play about Beryl a couple of years ago, which was on Radio 4. So I was interested to read more about her. I'll find out, more about the woman, she espoused. So inside we have an image of Beryl in motion. I would say rhubarb farm in Yorkshire. Basically, it means we're talking about the rhubarb triangle, which you may or may not have heard of, which essentially is the location where we get all our rhubarb from in our country. And it's a small area of the north where rhubarb is grown in the dark. And it opens up with a prologue. Why didn't I know her? Why hasn't she achieved greater recognition? And there are several reasons for it. The play goes into it. Maxine Peake talks about it, going into it. And then we essentially we start basically with her greatest ride, her greatest achievement. The fact that she won so many medals, so many races, and is all but forgotten. There are other cyclists from the era who are more well known. Many, especially all of the men, primarily because essentially they managed to make the leap from British cycling to European cycling and onto the Tour de France, which is actually being able to get onto the Tour de France itself is an achievement. We didn't actually have riders doing that from the UK until really the sort of like the 50s and so on. So there's her, being recognised by the Queen, receiving an OBE, and we've got some photographs in the middle. actually riding in the Yorkshire Dales. And then in action, and then interesting comparison between one of her own original bikes and then you know, a more modern bike designed for the time trials, for road racing, and also on in cycling drones, you know, to cycle drones. So it's interesting to note that just how groundbreaking this kind of design of bike or bicycle was when it sort of like it premiered with in the early 90s with Chris Baldwin. So yeah, more of her in action. So I'm looking forward to reading this. And there are photographs throughout, and just discussion of how fast she was. And you know, her recognition of, you know, the female athletes coming through later on after a career. Then there's the plaque itself that's put up to her in Morley and so on. And then we've got an appendix of the championship winning years. A nice cartoon there. You know, he's wasting his time. He'll never catch Beryl Burton, this dog chasing after on a bicycle. So, and then we've got just a table of sort of like tables of sort of her event she enters and the ones she won and so on, just how well she performed. So yeah, that's Beryl in search of Britain's greatest athlete. Obviously deserves more recognition that she's received, and hopefully through this book she will. Anyway, thanks for watching another unboxing of the Nook. If you've enjoyed this, then please do click on the like button down below, and of course if you've got any comments or feedback, I do appreciate you taking the time to post those. And lastly, if you want to be alerted to yet more unboxings of the Nook, where you'll see me out here with a parcel containing a book or game, in this case a book which I'm planning to read, which I will unbox and chat about to the best extent of my knowledge for roughly 10 minutes or so, all of course accompanied by a nice hot cup of tea. Then please do click on the subscribe button down below. In the meantime, thanks again for watching another unboxing of the Nook. I'll be back again soon with another one. Bye for now.